Hey, what's up with everybody? It's your boy Rymir here. I just want to get on here and let everybody know the updates, what's going on. It's been a crazy couple weeks, y'all. I want to let y'all know that I have not stopped my fight. You know, I did withdraw my case. It's for a reason, y'all. It's not because I'm stopping with it or not going to refile it or anything like that.
Rymir Carter said if the courts won't listen, the internet damn sure will. And now he's planning on leaking what he's calling the family albums. Old pictures, timelines, and receipts that he swears prove one thing: Jay-Z trapped his mama Wanda back when she was just a teenager. You heard that right. The man's been fighting this paternity case for decades, and instead of waiting on another judge to throw him out on technical errors, Rymir is going straight to the public. And baby, the streets are eating it up. Now, let's keep it real. This ain't brand new teeth. Rymir's been saying since he was a kid that Jay is his father, and Wanda, before she passed, left sworn statements saying the same. She claimed she was only 16 when she met him, and that what went down wasn't no fairy tale romance, and it was a situation where she was way too young and he was way too powerful. That's where the word trapped comes in. To Rymir and his family, it's not just about paternity, it's about exploitation, silence, and a billionaire dodging accountability. And let's be clear, Jay-Z has always denied it. His lawyers call these stories ridiculous and false. His reps say people should be ashamed for exploiting a child's name. But Rymir ain't moving off his square. Every year he finds a new way to bring it back up. Petitions, court filings, interviews, and now leaked family albums. The twist: by dropping these images, he's not even waiting for DNA anymore. He's building his case in the court of public opinion. And child, in the age of TikTok detectives and Twitter side-by-sides, that might be more dangerous to Jay's legacy than a real trial. So here's where we at. A son saying he's been ignored for too long, a mother who swore before she died that her truth was real, and a hip-hop billionaire who refuses to even acknowledge it. The receipts might not be official court documents, but in the eyes of the internet, those family albums are loud enough. The question now is this just another messy chapter in Rye's endless fight? Or is it the crack in the Carter empire that fans been waiting to see?
I stand on my allegations regarding this matter. Mr. Carter, defense attorney in 2012 in New Jersey, didn't want me to sit next to her in the courtroom and stated, I quote, "I don't want her sitting next to me. I don't want her sitting next to me. I would not represent someone like..."
Now look, when it comes to public image, this saga is straight up night and day. On one side, you got Rye, who's been telling his story for years, usually with tears in his eyes, saying he don't want no money, no clout, no Carter billions, just the truth. He'll sit in interviews like, "I just want to know who my father is. I deserve that closure." Every move he makes is wrapped in that same narrative: the underdog, the ignored son, the boy who grew up fighting a machine too powerful to beat in court. And on the other side, silence. Complete and polished silence. Jay-Z ain't never acknowledged Rymir, not once, not even a slip-up. His team handles everything for him, calling it baseless and shameful. Back in 2015, when the case first hit the press heavy, his lawyers said the whole thing was ridiculous. And then crickets. No rebuttal interviews, no sit-down explaining his side. Just stonewalling. That's how a billionaire plays it, and deny, dismiss, then disappear into a yacht. But here's where it gets tricky. The silence itself has become part of the story, because the more Jay stays quiet, the more people lean into Rymir's narrative. Folks online will say, if Jay really ain't the daddy, why not just take the test and move on? What's so hard about that? The longer he ignores it, the more it looks like there's something to hide. And then there's Beyonce. Sis never touches this topic with a 1050 poll. You'll never hear her whisper Rymir's name, not in interviews, not in lyrics, not even in subliminals. And honestly, you can't blame her. Her entire brand is built on perfection, family, legacy, empire. Even the elevator fight with Solange got swept under a glittery rug. But fans swear Beyonce is part of the reason Jay refuses to deal with this situation. They point back to rumors where insiders claim she wanted this story buried because it didn't fit the image of their picture perfect. Carter family? Meanwhile, Rymir keeps popping up with new ammo. He's filed petitions to Congress asking them to investigate the way his case was handled. He's gone live on Instagram crying about being shut out. And now with these leaked family albums, he's shifting the battlefield completely. Instead of waiting on the legal system, he's pulling public sympathy cards and saying, y'all look for yourselves. The resemblance is there. The timeline is there. My mama told y'all before she passed. What? More do I need to say? It's a PR war, plain and simple. Rymir is playing the role of David, slinging hand, aiming at Goliath. Jay and Beyonce are choosing silence, hoping the storm dies down. But in 2025, silence don't stop nothing. It just makes the noise louder. And if we're keeping it real, the optics ain't cute. Every time Jay steps out for charity, every time Beyonce posts them twins, the comments fill up with, what about Rye? He may not have court recognition, but in the public eye, he's already family.
Behind closed doors, that's only one case that we withdrew for right now. But it's a lot going on. You know how this industry works. These judges, these lawyers, these high celebrity people, they try to use all different types of tactics and call it what you want, bully tactics and different types of stuff to, you know, slow it down and just change the narrative.
See, the thing about this Rymir saga is that it don't live in a vacuum. Once you start laying out the timeline, the receipts, and the history, it paints a much bigger picture. And child, that picture don't look good for her. Let's start with Wanda. Rymir's mother. She always maintained she met Jay-Z back in the late 8s when she was 16 years old. That's where the word trapped cuts deep, because to hear her tell it, she was a teenager. He was already grown, and the relationship wasn't some casual fling, and it was a situation where she was too young, and he had all the power. Before she passed, Wanda even signed an affidavit laying it all out, saying Jay-Z was Rymir's father. That affidavit been floating around for years, but every time it made its way toward a courtroom, something mysterious went wrong. Judges dismissing cases for procedural errors. Lawyers allegedly dropping the ball. Rye himself has said, "The system failed me. They let him dodge accountability, and so my numb." Now, if this was a one-off story, maybe folks would shrug it off. But Jay-Z has been linked to multiple paternity claims. Remember Letitia Mayer? She went viral a few years back, calling herself Jay-Z's first daughter, and even made an Instagram page with that name. Her family members backed her up too. Then there's Rymir Satwait, another man who fought for years, saying Jay was his father, with his godmother going on record accusing Jay's team of locking DNA tests. And don't forget Chanel Scott, whose son Malik was once rumored to be Jay's child after a DNA test proved her husband wasn't the father. Every time Jay's camp came down swinging with denials, calling it all ridiculous. But notice the pattern. Deny the child, never take the test, move in silence. Sound familiar? Because the same script has been running with Rymir for decades. And while the courts might have his back, the streets ain't stupid. Folks can line up the timelines, look at the pictures, and say the math is mathing. Let's not act like hip-hop don't have a history with these types of scandals either. Drake got outed with Adonis after hiding him from the world, did he? Who child? Side babies, NDAs, and lawsuits stacked higher than the Empire State. Even Beyonce's own daddy, Matthew Knowles, had multiple kids outside his marriage, and those siblings been dragging beef for years about how she allegedly pretends they don't exist. The Carter Knowles brand is no stranger to family drama, so when Rymir drops these family albums, it's not just nostalgia pictures, it's him saying this ain't new. This is part of a long line of patterns. My mama said it, I'm saying it, y'all see it. And honestly, that's why the internet gives his story more weight than the lawyers do. Because in the streets, the patterns matter more than the paperwork. And that's the tea, sis. Jay-Z may have billions and the cleanest lawyers money can buy, but when folks can point at your past and line up the receipts, the narrative writes itself. Now, baby, this is where the whole saga leaves the courtroom and walks straight into the group chat, because once Rymir leaked the so-called family albums, the internet became the real jury, and child, the comments are louder than any judges. Gavel, scroll Twitter, TikTok, or IG, and you going to see it all. Side by side, pictures of Rye and Jay. Captions like, same nose, same eyes. Quit playing in our face. Folks stitching videos comparing young Hoff with Rye at the same age. And the resemblance got the streets shook. But it ain't just about looks. People been clocking the timeline too. Wanda's affidavit saying she was 16 when she met Jay Rymer's age, lining up with Jay's early career years. Fans piecing it all together like true crime detectives, and of course, not everybody buying it. Jay's defenders come hard, calling Rye a clout chaser and saying, if you really had proof, why not go to my not Instagram? Others say the timing feels sus, pointing out that Jay and Bay got Cowboy Carter tour money rolling in, and that maybe Rymir just wants attention during the spotlight. Here's the bigger warning though, fans see this as more than gossip. They frame it as another example of rich, powerful men dodging accountability while the less powerful get buried. Comments like, if he was broke, they would have swabbed him already. And money can buy lawyers, but it can't erase bloodlines keep popping up. The narrative is shifting from just Ryer versus Jay to David versus Goliath and Child. The more Jay stays quiet, the more fans talk for him. Silence used to kill a rumor, now it just feeds it. Every Beehive stand post gets hijacked with sidekick. Comments. Every Jay-Z throwback video got folks writing, where Rye at though? He might not win in court, but in the court of public opinion, Jay-Z already on trial. The internet done undecided. Family albums might not be DNA, but they messy enough to crack the Carter image wide open. So here's where it gets heavy, sis. Beyond the memes, the court filings, the leaked albums, this whole situation is about legacy. Jay-Z ain't just any rapper. He's one of the most powerful men in music. A billionaire, husband to Beyonce, father to Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Sir. To the world, he's the American dream in a rock nation fitted. But to Rye Carter, he's just the man who allegedly trapped his mama and never looked back. And that's the tension right there. On one hand, you got Jay-Z's carefully polished empire, philanthropy, art collections, business mogul moves that Grammy's family glow up with Beyonce and the kids. On the other, you got this shadow storyline that refuses to die, a son he never claimed, a woman who left sworn affidavit before her death, and now a pile of family photos that are set to spill across the internet. What does this mean for Beyonce? Woo, if we being honest, her silence is part of her brand. She don't explain, she don't clap back, she just lets the work speak. But fans already side-eye her whenever Jay's other kids come up. Remember when her half-B brother, their Nixon's mama, said Beyonce ignored him while buying a mansion just a few miles away? People dragged her for it, add Rye's face trending next to Jay's, and suddenly the Carter-Knowles family values look a little shaky. Bay can pretend it's noise, but once the internet smells blood, they don't let go. And for Rye, this might be the moment that cements him in pop culture history. Whether Jay-Z likes it or not, Drake tried to hide Adonis and got exposed by Pusha T. Now Adonis is sitting courtside at basketball games. History has a way of forcing secrets into the light. If Jay thought silence was going to bury this, he underestimated the power of persistence and the internet's obsession with messy receipts. What's next legally? Hard to say. Without a court-ordered DNA test, Rymer's fight stays symbolic, but Child's sometimes symbolism hit harder than evidence. If he does good on his word and leaks those family albums, if Ans can verify that it ain't some AI hack job, then the damage would be difficult to recover from, because legacy ain't just what you build, it's what people believe. And right now, a growing number of folks believe Jay-Z dodged responsibility and left a whole son in the shadows. That's not something a $1 billion Basot purchase can erase. So here's the irony, y'all. Rymir don't even need a lab test to get his story heard. By leaking their family albums, he can flip this script. Jay-Z may run the courts with his army of lawyers, but in the court of public opinion, the jury is loud, messy, and already leaning guilty.